Yo, what is going on, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning into this video. First, let me just talk about, I guess, what's kind of been going on with my life, because I know it's been like a month since I posted a video. I recently graduated college with a degree in accounting, so glad that's over. And my wife and I also moved to a new place. As you can see, we have different background here in the back with us. So new chair, new stuff. So really looking forward to getting into more videos here in the really near future. Starting off with this one. Definitely subscribe if you guys are new here to the channel so that you guys don't miss an upload. But without further ado, today we're going to be getting into a game called GrimValor, and it did release a couple weeks ago now, but I recorded a bunch of gameplay for it, and so I definitely wanted to talk about it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So GrimValor originally released for iOS in October of 2018 and Android in June of 2019, and it was priced at $6.99. And I know what you guys are thinking. Great, another mobile game ported to the Switch. And trust me, that's definitely me. Like 99% of the time, I like never trust mobile games because there's a bunch of kind of crappy mobile games that get pulled over to the Switch all the time. However, after playing through GrimValor, it almost feels like this game was designed more for the Switch than any other platform. So GrimValor is a 2D hack and slash platformer. So you play as a warrior whose odds are stacked against them in their quest to destroy the corruption around them. The game starts you out with a really quick tutorial, but then quickly puts you in a tough boss battle. Because of your lack of strength and gameplay experience, you're defeated and cast into an abyss. But as you defeat enemies, you are able to gain levels and upgrade your strength and find different weapons that help you to be able to progress through the game. I love this game because it is really fast-paced and pretty simple, but it does require some skill in order to take on the tougher boss battles. It's pretty simple. You have a light attack and a heavy attack, and you can use that heavy attack as you defeat enemies because they will drop energy that allows you to be able to use those skills. Other than light and heavy attacks, you have the ability to dodge, and dodging becomes really, really effective later on in the game as you find an item that allows you to basically go in slow motion every time that you successfully perform a dodge. The game has different save points, so you're not always just able to save your game wherever you want to. You have to be able to get to a save point in order to be able to save your game. At the same time, this also replenishes your health. This is also a location where you are able to upgrade your levels. So as you defeat enemies, they drop these soul stones that allow you to either buy things from the shop, or you can, like I said before, you can upgrade your level. So there are 4 different things that you are able to upgrade. So they classify them as Vigor, Savagery, Mastery, and Focus. Vigor is essentially your health, so you can increase your life. Savagery and Mastery increase your attack power, and also Mastery will increase your hit speed. And then Focus will allow you to increase the amount of energy that you gain from soul shards and different items. Other things that you come across that I kind of mentioned before is what they call trinkets, or just like items that you can equip to your character. So these items become really, really useful because they will increase either, like I said before, there's one that allows you to be in slow motion. There's one that allows you to increase your attack. There's some that increase the amount of damage you take, or if you can even gain some health back if you counterattack. So there's a bunch of different items that you come across in the game that help you to be able to progress further. I think one reason why I really enjoyed playing through this game is that while you're essentially grinding and kind of just hacking your way through enemies and just trying to level up, the game never feels like you're over leveled, except maybe at the very beginning. So the game is definitely requires some skill, and it is challenging enough that it wants you to be able to get better. And so while you're grinding through the game, the game has a great storyline that you can follow. So with the story, there are 5 different acts that you make your way through. Essentially, each act ends with a boss battle, and so once you defeat that boss, it takes you into the next act. One thing that I really love that the game does is that with each area, there are different loot piles or chests that are designated for that area. And you can actually see what loot piles and chests you've come across and essentially what percentage you've found in that specific area. And so you're able to see that through the map. Myself, I'm definitely 100%er, just meaning like I love completing everything in games possible. And so I enjoyed going back and finding the different items that I missed in the first time that I went through. This also allowed me to be able to just like level up as well. So I actually really appreciated that because it felt like it helped me get to the level that I needed to be in order to get through the next boss. So my goal for this video was to just get through the entire game before I reviewed it. And I really try and do that with all the games that I review, just so that I can get a fair idea of like what actually the game offers. 'Cause a lot of the times it's hard to figure out a game just from the beginning because it can either take some time to get used to, or maybe there's just better stuff throughout the game that isn't there at the beginning. But one thing that I discovered that I had no idea about was that once you play through the entire game, it actually gives you the option to essentially replay the game, but everything at a higher level. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like, I guess I'll just try it out and see what it's like. And oh my gosh, it was literally like 10 times harder. Getting through these boss battles took 10 times as long, and it required so much like effort just to get through these things because I would get hit 3 times and I'd be dead. But then it would take me 5 minutes of just straight attacking to take this thing out. So if you are definitely up for a challenge, like play through this game and then get to the replay, because like it's seriously going to take some intense skill. I haven't made it through the whole thing yet, but I've made it probably about 75% of the way through to the end of that one. And it's actually cool because they do rework a little bit of some of the boss battles and where things are at in the map. So it's not just replaying it with higher levels, but it's actually a little bit more figuring things out and where things are. So actually really, really appreciated that about this game, and that they were able to add that in there for some added content. So let's get into the verdict. Now, like I said, I kind of spoiled it. I already told you guys that I really enjoyed this game, but let me get into some of the specifics of what I enjoyed and some things that I think could have been improved. So like I said in the intro, I really feel like this game was designed for the Switch. That's just how it felt as I was playing. Like I said, it's really simplistic, but it's definitely hard enough that it requires some skill, and it wants you, like, at least for myself, I was finding myself wanting to get better at the game. So I just really love the feel of the game. The game looks really good. There are some things that look like it was a mobile game, right? Like, that's just gonna come with some of these ports. But for the most part, I feel like it definitely looked really good. One thing I have to say I didn't love about the game is that some of the areas felt very duplicated almost, just in that they looked very similar, and like I could see the concept of what they were trying to do, but some of the areas just felt really similar, and so that part I could definitely see some people finding that to be boring. But because the gameplay is so smooth and just the added skill I think it takes in order to really at least get through that replay of the game, I just think this game can hit home for a lot of different gamers. So if you're somebody that really enjoys a story, you can definitely get through the game that first time for the story and be able to beat it no problem. But if you're someone like me who kind of likes to master games and essentially just see how good I can get at one specific game, like I said, the second playthrough that they have designed is just, it takes it to a whole nother level. So it really is a great game for casual gamers, but also more serious gamers. And the price point I think is really fair. So like I said, for when it released on mobile, it was $6.99, and it's double that at $12.99 on the Switch. But I think with the amount of content that this game offers and how well it looks and how great it feels, that price point is honestly probably right on par for where it should be at. So if you did see this game and you are wondering, whether or not you should pick it up, I really feel like for any type of gamer you are, it's great. It's a cheap game compared to most other games that you'll find there on the Switch. So it's a really great price point. If you do find this game on sale, definitely pick it up at that point, because like I said, at retail price, this game's totally worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure and leave it a like. If you guys are new here to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future uploads, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.